What's up, everyone? My name is Ruben, and I'm going to show you the difference between classes and presets in Breakdance 2.0. You ready? I am. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you guys ready? Get the camera on me. Tony, if I have to tell you one more time, I fired Ronaldo, everybody. Ronaldo is out. Tony's in. Tony, come on. But today, I'm excited to give you a preview of classes and presets inside of Breakdance 2.0. And I'm excited because we're bridging a gap, right? We have, on one hand, the power users. Where's my hand at? On one hand, the power users. On the second hand, we have the newcomers, right? The people coming from Elementors, the people coming from the Divies, the people coming from the Beaver Builder sites, right? The newcomers. So we have two worlds we're dealing with. And I think Breakdance 2.0 offers a solution for both. It gives you the power if you're familiar with classes, but it also gives the simplicity of understanding presets. Previously, we only had presets on text elements, but it's been expanded on, rewritten. Whatever Lewis did on the background, it is dope. I'm super excited. And I want to show you out there, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Are you ready? I'm ready. I hope I hit the right button. Yeah, it's the right button. I recorded this video and I forgot to have my screen up. So here's part 2. You'll never know, but it's part 2. So I want to introduce to you the concept of classes. Here, remember, we're bridging two worlds together, right? It's the power users, the top 10% of people who love classes, and the newcomers, the beginners, the people who have small businesses, the people who just have one website, the people who just have who just need something that is maintainable and scalable, right? So something simple, but yet you can bridge those two worlds together. For example, I manage a lot of websites with Breakdance, and I'm going to be using the presets. I find it easier. I'll show you here why, right? So now, let me open up 2.0. I have my cup of coffee in my amber cup. A little ASMR for you. So here we go. I brought a couple of elements in. So this is not an element, but I just grabbed, I brought in a couple clients. So I built this for a client. So I just brought it in. This is just a pricing table. I built this little section for a client. It's on the client side. It looks right here. I had to take it apart so I can show you some benefits. Down here, the same thing. And a couple boxes, some divs. I'm going to show you the difference between classes and presets. Okay, so let's start from the top, right? So now you want to create your own card or use the elements, right? So in this case, I have a preset called Cheney card. Here in my card, I'm able to change the background, and it affects everything that's assigned to that preset. And I'll show you how to do that, right? So now you're able to instantly, like a class, but using presets. This is a preset. You create a div, assign it, assign a name to it, and I called it Cheney card. And now you're able to edit everything within the builder very quickly, right? So now I added a heading, and this heading is now a preset. So I can go in here in the typography and change the font. Let's change it to small. And it changes all across the website. Anytime I use this design set, so I call it Cheney -card _title, right? It changes. Same thing with the text. Cheney -card body, right? We're able to edit this text, make it super big, super small. We can make it super small, and it affects wherever I am using this preset. So now this card, if the client calls and says, hey, Ruben, I really want this card to be black. Okay. Oops. I'm affecting the text. So I really want this card to be black. So you change it to black, you change the text to white, and you're done. Oops, what am I doing wrong? Oh, click the text, hit edit. Am I doing the font? Yeah, now do the font white. So normally I would want it to click and it instantly changes, but it doesn't do that. So you have to click, then click edit. Click the div, click edit. That's what I was doing wrong. Sorry about that. It's new. It's less than 12 hours old, so I apologize. So what you want to do, so then client calls and says, hey, I want it dark. Instantly, every time for every instant you use this card, it's going to replace the colors all across the website. But let's say, let me undo this. Okay. So let's say if you want the last card to be an alternative. So all you have to do is there's a little lock icon here. You unclick it. Now it becomes a regular card. So you can either save it like this, like you want this one to be light or the dark version. So unlink it, the typography, make it white. So now what you can do is grab it and make an alternative preset. So I will call this Cheney card alt. Oops. And then here on the text, I would call this Cheney card body alt. Boom. So now you have created an alternative card. So let's go here, unlink it, select the alt card, select the text. So now you can actually do that, right? You can create alternatives and then make that the preset for you. So you can have a light version, a dark version on the same website, right? So this is using, I wanted to recreate a info box, right? Because this is technically just on the website, just an info box. So the power of the preset is you're able to control a little bit more because it is a breakdance element, right? So I'm able to go in here and adjust the title if I needed to. If I want to make it super large, super small, what I want, whatever my heart desires, now I'm able to control each one, right? Oh, and then I'm also, then, for example, in this case, I have 4 boxes, but I want the last one to be an alternative. So you just you unlink it and then create an alternative, right? So now you're able to instantly create anything you want, make an alternative, use, A or use B or use a combination of A and B. So you're able to instantly, with the presets built into Breakdance. So now you're able to create different cards pretty easily. So you click here. I want it to be the white card again. I wasn't a fan of this dark. So now I'm able to change everything back pretty easily. And then you just use namings that words that you understand, like what it is, right? If it's a card, you name it card. Body, it's the body text, things like that. You name it so it can be recognizable. So in just a few clicks, I was able to change it back to a card without actually changing the colors or worrying about that, right? So we can skip this because it's almost the same concept. But here, for example, here I have a preset. I have this one called leadership card. These don't have anything. These are just blank cards or blank divs, right? So you click on the div, you call it leadership card, and it instantly transforms into all the settings you had within that preset. So if you need to change the background of this card, you can just make it dark, make it black, make it light, make it white, right? So you can go in there and change the colors, and it goes all across the website. So I think it's a super powerful tool. You would have to go in here and create. So for example, the icon itself, I would call this like leadership card icon, right? So then this would be, I would call this a leadership card title, and then this would be sorry that my keyboard's super loud. So this would be leadership. I can't type when I'm recording. A leadership card body. So you name the presets as an identifier, right? So then once you create a card, you can duplicate it. So let's delete these. Right. So then now we have 1, 2, 3. So now you change the title. You can change it to whatever you want it to be. Right. So now if you want to change the color, the weight size of the font, if you want to change the size of the font, you can, and it affects everything. So this is introducing the presets, and I think it's very powerful because it's easy to understand, right? You have a visual builder here on the side, right? And the settings are very familiar because Breakdance uses all these settings. So I feel it's going to be a huge advantage for newcomers to wrap their mind around presets and classes. Excuse me, I'm gonna drink some coffee. So this is very beginner friendly because remember, we're bridging a gap. So you're saying, well, Ruben, I'm not a big fan of presets. I want to use classes. Okay, let's have fun. Click on the div, type in CLA. All of a sudden, you have your class open, right? So you're going to type in your class and call this leadership card, card. Save. So now you're able to edit the same exact things you did. I know what you have to do. You have to go in here and remove all the settings because the builder takes priority over the class. So you have to go in there and delete all the classes. Let's go in here and delete all the backgrounds, right? So now you click on the div, you type in CLA, and you start typing leadership card. Boom. You go here, type in CLA, type in leadership, boom, oops. Now you're able to add a class a lot quicker than before because the old process was, okay, here the text, got to go to the gear, open advanced, then start typing. Now with introducing with 2.0 is the word, or the function CLA, and call this leadership card body. So now I'm able to address the body text and change this to so you got to get rid of all the settings in the builder. Go to the class again. And you change all the colors. You want it black, you want it white, you want it this light color, you want it just back to white, you want the font super big, let's make it larger, whatever you want to call it. So then you go in here, click on the text, add the class, right? So that's pretty cool. So now we do CLA, leadership card. Oh, I need to do all the padding. Oh, to get rid of this. Get rid of that. And get rid of that. Okay. I'm just making sure the container, everything is blank. Okay. So now, CLA, edit the class, and now I'm able to add all the spacing and padding I want, right? So right now I'm using Headspin to create all the variables for the spacing. So boom. So now my cards are there, right? So then I want to change the layout. I'm gonna change the layout to flex. No, I'll go to block. It's a block. I think it's flex. I'm gonna add a gap of medium. Let's do small. Then I'm gonna align everything center. And there you go. So now we have the body text. Align the text to the center, and then we're good to go. If I want to add rounded corners, go back to the card, edit the class, go to, I hope you can see this, but now I might be blocking it. So go to the radius, right click for Headspin. Remember, this is free. Headspin is free, so you can download it for free, and then make the radius medium. So boom, so you just instantly created all the cards with classes. So so you saw me taking elements off or removing things. When you start introducing these flows to your system, it's gonna be kind of hard to go back into websites you already built and start adding classes and presets, right? So unless a client is paying you or a client is doing this, you don't have to go back to every site and start adding presets, but you can start with 2.0 and moving forward, start implementing classes and start implementing presets, right? Unless you have time and you want to go back and learn, you can. But the same thing here. So we're using classes and presets, right? So this is a class, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And this is a preset. Visually, there's no difference. I think the font size is a little bit different, but visually, you can achieve the same goal with either using classes or a preset. I think, in my opinion, it is a lot easier to understand presets than it is to understand classes. But if you are a power user and you want to use classes within the framework of Breakdance, you can. But the reality is, if you just use a preset, it's a lot easier. I felt like it was a lot easier for me as I was creating this little mini tutorial. It'll be more beneficial for someone to use presets than it is to use classes. The traditional way, right? Because then if you have the leadership, you can go in here to the global settings, save this, go to the global settings, and then you can add style sheets and address the classes if you want to add more things. But honestly, you can do 90% of website. You can do 90%, even 95% with just using vanilla Breakdance. Don't need anything extra. You can create beautiful websites with it. But my friends, this is a quick overview of classes and presets. So whichever direction you want to go in, if you're a power user and feel more comfortable using classes, or if you're using presets and you're a new beginner and maybe classes scare you a little bit, I think you're going to have a great time in Breakdance 2.0 and diving into the world of maintainability and scalability, right? That's the reason why people want classes, is how do I maintain a website without having to copy and paste like an element. If I create, for example, if a customer client calls me and says, I want these blocks black, I have to manually on this live website, because remember, I took this from a real website that's live. Now I have to go and copy and paste. So make a change, copy, paste it whenever I use this card. But not anymore. With the preset or with the class, I'm able to assign its colors, typography, the size of it, anything my mind can dream of, I can assign it to it. And it's 100% maintainable and scalable. And my friends, that has been classes and presets inside of Breakdance 2.0. I hope you're excited. I am.